country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right, what's going on, America? How's it going? Graham Allen here, live from the RNC. A bit different look here. I feel like I'm in a recording booth because I got one ear on, one ear off. We are here in Milwaukee, and as you can tell, I am dressed in, you see the amazing studio that Rumble has here. I am so excited to be back with you guys. I apologize for you having to deal with Todd yesterday.
Oh,
and,
well, that's better than you. That's better than you in the bright red sock right there.
Hey, look, bro, you got to have a solid sock game when you're doing this thing. All right, let's go ahead and go to the four screen really quick. We'll introduce everybody like this. Of course, Cartel, not Mexican Tony is over here. Producer Royce. It looks good on my end right here. That's Tony. No, that's Tony.
There you go.
There's Royce. There is Todd. All right. Everybody's favorite redneck hot seat Todd is here as well. All right. Let's go ahead and get the comment section blowing up again. Night 2 of the RNC was yesterday, but we're hearing reports that now the White House, the DOJ, the FBI, the Secret Service are now saying that it wasn't the police's fault. It wasn't Secret Security's fault. It was Iran's fault. Iran tried to kill Donald Trump. That's who tried to do it.
That kid looked like a terrorist to me.
It leads me to, and we'll get into this later, what I think is going to be the October surprise. So we had a July surprise. I think the October surprise is they're going to try to take us into war with Iran. And you're already starting to see some things here, but we'll get into that later on. Also, reports leaked yesterday that Biden, knowing that his time is short and his time is near, is trying to radically transform the Supreme Court, which is interesting as well. Donald Trump made a statement about that. We're going to walk through a bunch of things. I'm going to give you guys some insider info to what we've seen here at the RNC since we've been here. And when I say yesterday was a whirlwind, I've had 2 Black Rifle Espressos this morning.
That's crazy because you sound like you just got out of like a massage or something. You're so chill.
There's other people in here, so I'm trying not to talk like I normally talk like this. And so I'm trying to give it a little bit of a professional vibe for a moment. But anyway, let's go ahead and get business out of the way first. We need every single one of you to hit that like button right now. The more you hit the like button, the more people see this. The more people see it, the more people hear the truth. Super questions, $5 or more. Now is the time to ask me a bunch of questions. What's going on? If these walls could talk, yesterday I was in here with Dan Bongino, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, just to name a few. Let me just say there are some crazy things getting ready to happen. You have no idea.
Dude, I'm excited.
We have not yet begun to fight. That's all. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's Tucker right there. Let's give it up. If you love Tucker Carlson, give it up there. Let's pull up the other photo of Bongino and Don Jr. Should be right before this. Right there. Yeah, if you love Dan Bongino and Donald Trump Jr., comment yes or love or fire emojis in the chat. Let's get this thing blowing up right now, dude. That's an extra large, bro. I know that you love to call it that, but
it's just jealousy, man. It's just jealousy.
That is an extra large. Do you know how many people I ran into Lauren Boebert yesterday? And I said hey to her, gave her a hug and everything, and then she walked off, and I could tell she was kind of like this, and then a little bit later it was like, oh, I didn't even recognize that it was you.
It's not Fat Graham anymore. It's not Fat Graham.
Yeah. And so anyway, all right, we got a lot of things to talk about. Let's go ahead and get business out of the way. Todd is going to read our sponsors for today's show, and then we're going to get into this stuff. But share this video, comment that you love Dan Bongino, Tucker Carlson in the chat, and then let's get down to business. Go, Todd.
Yeah, let's start with Birch Gold, ladies and gentlemen. There's a very common sense reason that gold is pushing to an all-time high right now. Actually, there are several reasons if you look at it. The cost of goods right now continue to rise despite interest rates being controlled by the Fed. The national debt continues to skyrocket, now above 30 $34 trillion, causing many to worry when the house of cards will come crashing down. A presidential election year that will have massive implications on the future of this country. And don't forget about the BRICS trying to destroy the value of the dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, what we need you to do right now, stop what you're doing and text the word Graham, that's Graham, to 989898 right now. What they're going to do is, yes, they're going to get your information, they're going to get you your address, and they're going to send you a free info kit. Guys, now is the time. With everything and all the craziness that's going on in our country right now, now is the time to invest your money wisely by texting the word Graham, Graham, to 989898 now. Also, we have our new sponsor, Silent. We've seen it time and time again. Somebody exposes the truth just to be labeled as a conspiracy theorist, only to be proven right later. Well, let me tell you this. The next thing you should be concerned about is government geo-tracking of your phone and your other devices. We've seen the government use geofencing to track devices of individuals on January 6th, leading to unwarranted arrests, searches, and seizures with no evidence of wrongdoing. Silent offers an efficient and easy solution to protect your location and your personal data. Their Faraday product blocks all incoming and outgoing signals so no one can get their hands on your information. What we need you to do is go to Silent, that's SLNT.com/Graham to save 15% plus free shipping on qualifying orders. Stay ahead of what's coming. Secure your privacy today. Again, that's Silent, SLNT.com/Graham.
All right. Good job, Todd. Look at you getting the ad reads in there. I love that.
Reading is fundamental.
Everybody go make sure that you're supporting our sponsors because they keep us free. I know a lot of people are like, sponsors, just shut up. Just stop. Well, look, our sponsors are patriots. They're country-loving, God-fearing Americans, and they keep us on the air. But we got things to talk about, so let's go ahead and get that going right now. Everybody, the SSGP of them all, Sisson Girl Pants, not Sissy Girl Pants. We got Harry Sisson, who I don't know. I don't know if he will survive when Biden loses in November. I don't know what's going to happen to him. He needs to be put in a padded room on suicide watch. No, he needs to on suicide watch. He needs to be on watch.
I agree.
This man, this young man, on top of that, who is delusional at best. Look at his hair. He looks like he just snapped into a Slim Jim and it was expired. Anyway, the point is, play it. I haven't seen this one, so let's
that's
the Graham we know. That's the Graham we know.
Donald Trump has not reached out to the family of the man who is...
But you failed to mention in your video, Harry, that Trump was attending the funeral, or the fact that Trump authorized this page to be set up where $4.5 million were raised for the victims of that shooting. That was orchestrated by ActBlue donor once again. Speaking of ActBlue, Harry, did you know this? And I want to say what the video I'm about to show you is thanks to this account right here. So let's take a stroll through his contributions, shall we? See, ActBlue right there. This is going to be good. Y'all are going to enjoy this. Democracy Defense Action. And it's starting to ring a bell for anybody? It's gonna be good, I promise. Remember, Democracy Defense Action.
This guy sounds like me.
God damn. So Democracy Defense Action, the same organization that pays you for consulting fees, Harry, is linked to ActBlue, which is the same organization that the shooter from Pennsylvania donated to back in 2021. Ooh. I'm sorry, but that don't seem very Republican to me, bro. It actually ties you and your organizations to the shooter closer than any Republican organization.
Yeah, actually, ActBlue. I've been going after ActBlue, and also Donald Trump has called the widow of the firefighter, and she basically praised Donald Trump, and she wouldn't even take Biden's phone call.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I've been on ActBlue for a long time. ActBlue, back in the 2020 BLM riots and all this other kind of stuff. As Royce turns his head, concerned about what I'm fixing to say. ActBlue has this policy. Okay, ActBlue has this policy that if you don't specifically say what your donation is for, Act Blue can then take that donation, whatever, and they can put it wherever they want to put it. And so Act Blue was directly donating into every Democrat that was running for president at the time. They were actively donating into BLM and all these other kind of things. And so Act Blue is nothing more than a funneling of American terrorism against our country in the Democrats. So Act Blue is and I got censored for that. I got demonetized for like 4 months and things like this. Guys, it's so crazy here. Dan Bongino, the legend himself, just walked in. He's literally standing
like
right here.
by.
He's fixing to say, hey, right to say, how's it going, bro?
Here he is.
Oh my goodness. Guys, can you
man.
say hi to the Dear America audience, sir?
Listen, we love this guy. I have been committed to you and Rumble and your show. So talented. I keep telling everybody you are going to be the future of this Rumble free speech network we have. And what I tell you yesterday, I'm like, we got to work on some collabs and stuff. He's fantastic.
Sweet.
So
Wow.
don't knock me for the merce, please. It's just like,
You can go ahead and tell him he's getting it when he walks away.
Don't knock, I have all this crap I got to bring, and I can't fit it any other way. So please, it's just like, I know the man card's got to get turned in right
That's
away.
okay, Dan. Indiana Jones has
necessary,
one.
Well, on the flip side, you have laid the foundation for people like me, and we appreciate you, and we love everything you do. And it is so intimidating going before you.
Graham, just
every
touch
day
him.
on
Just touch him.
Rumble
Reach out and
things like
touch him. Poke him.
All right. All right.
awesome.
See you. Oh, man. How,
Graham,
I mean, come
Hey,
on.
your
Come
face is
on.
red, bro. It's
Right?
really red right
that's
now.
The goat. That's the goat right
What
there,
a
right?
treat.
Dude,
What
hey,
are you going to do?
Graham, I don't think I've ever seen you flustered, man. That was,
yeah.
that was surprising.
Dude, like your
He's got me
cheeks were
blushing
red.
like it's a prom date over here. I'm telling
Graham, if you've not met Graham in person, Graham's not a small dude, but Bongino looked like a monster next to you. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
He's
well,
ginormous.
I am not a small man. I'm a short man. So
Yes,
there's a difference.
yes.
All right, we got a show to do, people.
Graham
All right,
is a
everybody just calm
4x4.
down. Hey, let's hear some love for Dan Bongino in the chat. Make sure to blow the chat up if you love Dan Bongino. Let's go. How cool was that?
That was awesome.
Only here at the RNC convention. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm just
Okay,
like, who's
this
going to
is-
walk by next?
This is Jake Tapper. This is a pure disgusting human being to the face of society. I know God doesn't make mistakes, but people can make constant mistakes that make them borderline devils when it's all said and done. Tapper is one of those people. This is him getting, as Laura likes to say, loomered. Let's play this clip.
Hi, Jake. Laura Loomer here. What do you think about Joe Biden's remarks the other day that it was time for President
Pause.
Trump
I'm
to be
so
put
sorry.
in the
Can we go
bullseye?
back really quick? I just have to.
Just
Can
to
you
the
go
face.
back to the first thing of his face? Just go back a little
Just
more.
his-
A little more. Come on, Royce. Back.
back.
Keep going. Yeah,
Back,
right
back,
there.
right
there.
Right there. Look at the demon right there. Just look at his eyes. You want to talk about soulless, godless eyes? That is a man who's either doesn't have a wife or his wife hates him.
That's the
on a daily
yellow-eyed
basis.
demon right
scared.
there.
He knows what's coming.
That
is-
is a man. Okay, play it. Let's go. He has the same
Laura
badge
Loomer here.
colors, man. I don't like
What do
that.
you think about Joe Biden's remarks the other day that it was time for President Trump to be put in the bullseye? Do you think that Joe Biden should issue an apology for calling for President Trump to be put in a bullseye?
I love how they're like trying to run.
Do you think
run
that
a- run a
CNN's
tackle
rhetoric
for
and their
a power
demonization
option
of
so he can
Donald
get
Trump
by?
over these last 8 years has led to people opening fire on President Trump, almost assassinating him on stage?
Oh, and with him walking right by Trump's face
As one
at
of the
same
biggest
time, that's
offenders
great.
and perpetuators of fake news. That's why President Trump calls you fake tapper. Do you have any remorse for
a
your
fake
reporting,
phone
which
call.
has led to an
Pause.
attempted
All right,
assassination?
so this
on
is what they do. This is what the weak-spined, corporate, just evil, shameless media does. They can dish it. They can dish it here on, when they're talking to a camera and nobody's in their face. But when things happen and when people confront them over the lies, and the media needs to take responsibility for what they've done. The attack against Donald Trump, the attempt against his life, the mainstream media is 100% responsible for the part that they played in this across the board. equating him to Hitler, equating him to he's a threat to our democracy, which anytime somebody says that, it drives me so insane. Anytime someone says it's a threat to our democracy, they automatically don't know what we're talking about. We're a constitutional republic, but I digress. Either way. And then the fake phone call, right? Oh goodness. Oh, it's right up there with the bad
the McDonald's drive-through. I can't hear you.
Later. Like, I mean, that's what it is.
You guys will have no idea what I'm talking about, but he literally looks like my middle school algebra teacher who gave us homework the first day of school. Like, you'd show up and like, all right, for the rest of the year, you guys have homework every single night. He looks like
the substitute teacher that's wife just divorced him.
Yeah,
and
100%.
His whole life
100%.
is to make you miserable. All right, okay, let's keep going. We got to roll through this stuff here. All right, CNN. This is when you know things, but here's the warning. Okay,
the list
here's
is
the
a little
warning.
out of order. We have this stuff.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so we have like 3 of the best clips of the night. I think we've got DeSantis, we've got Nikki Haley endorsing, and we've got Sarah on here. So we're going to play the clip, and I'm going to give you, because I was in the arena when this happened, I'm going to give you the inside like feel of how the audience felt. Okay, so let's go to Nikki first before we go to DeSantis, actually, because Nikki came out first. So the order was Nikki, DeSantis, and then Sarah came up after that. I will say this, when they announced Nikki Haley was going to come up on the stage, you could people clapped, people also booed. But the biggest thing was when she started talking, there was a bit of a like what is fixing to happen kind of mood in the thing. Everybody was kind of like, it was kind of like, daddy just hit mom at the dinner table and everybody's still trying to eat. They're like, what is going on? What's going to happen next? And she felt it 100%. And what people don't know is where I was sitting, they have these gigantic teleprompters feeding them what their speech is, and she went off script a little bit. She went immediately to let me say this and let me. She immediately went to this clip, and it was not on her teleprompter. And I will give Nikki Haley this. I told you guys this back in the primaries. She can debate with the best of them. She can fill the room with the best of them. And she knew very early on she better say this, or it's going to be a long night. Play it.
I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
There you go.
That's the only thing she could say.
Look, and then Donald Trump's like, well, I guess I'll get up for that one. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she followed that. She followed that with saying, Donald Trump asked me to come and speak here, and I said yes for the purpose of showing unity. And then the whole place, like the roof came off the place. And so I think it's a little sad. Like I said, I know Nikki. I think it's a little sad that it took literally to the RNC convention.
I'm making one thing
But I don't know
clear.
what's happening there. Okay, I don't know.
Well, here's my question with Nikki saying all that. Do you think that's grifting for a cabinet position because she won't be able to do anything else?
I don't think she.
I'm just saying, because she ain't going to be able to go anywhere else.
There was a lot of insider baseball talk yesterday that I'm not at liberty to bring out right this second. I think that it's very telling who's here. I think it's very telling who was allowed to sit in President Trump's box, because they had people rotate in and out.
Yeah.
I did see my good friend Ken Paxton was here.
AG.
America's Attorney General was sitting in Trump's box.
That's a good pick.
And I was really excited to see that for sure. Anyway, but that's a little insider baseball of the room when Nikki Haley showed up. Again, I'm glad to see that she finally has endorsed President Trump. She should have done it the second she dropped out of the race. But, I'm not, in charge of her camp. I don't know who was giving her that intel. Speaking of a guy who his camp,
Before you move on, I was going to say, I was flipping through different news channels yesterday after Haley spoke and after DeSantis spoke. And they were talking mainly about Haley, about how it must have been tough for her to show up in that room because she knew she was going to get, maybe half boos, half cheers or whatnot. But they were saying that it was so tough for her to do it. But she did it because she thinks that, or this was ABC saying that they think after what happened on Saturday, it just brought the whole party to like, okay, you know, this is different now. It's not.
I think that's probably true. I'm hearing reports that she was asked to speak actually right before the assassination attempt, which, you know, there was a lot of people going, oh, you know, were they trying to, you know, take out Trump so Haley could slip in there? I've heard that. Laura Loomer is one of those that's saying that a good bit. Me and Noah, actually, when we were sitting in the audience listening, I actually said that exact same thing. Hey, man, at the end of the day, Nikki Haley has got a pair for sure.
Right.
Because I don't even know if I would walk out there if I knew there was a chance that I'd get booed off the stage, you know, kind of thing to walk out there. So you got to give credit where it's due. She went out, she said the right things. And then, of course, again, she had a really good speech. It's Nikki Haley. She knows what she's doing. Anyway, speaking of a guy who his camp did not listen to me when I said, I really don't think this is a good idea for you to run for president. You're the guaranteed 2028 president
not anymore.
If you listen, and that would be fall from grace Ron DeSantis right here. But you got to give him credit. He had a really good moment here with this weekend at Bernie's
It was
comment.
so good.
It even got
So
Trump to
good.
laugh, which was
so
pretty good. All right, play it.
Alarmed that the current president of the United States lacks the capability to discharge the duties of his office. Our enemies do not confine their designs to between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We need a commander-in-chief who can lead 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. America cannot afford 4 more years of a weekend at Bernie's presidency.
And look at Trump.
That was great.
Oh, that was good. Even President Trump got a kick out of that one. That's about as much as emotion as you're going to see. And then, of course, Sarah Huckabee Sanders comes on, and you want to talk about the roof blowing off the place, man.
Grant, this is exactly why I wanted her as my pick. I think Todd and I both were saying Sarah Huckabee would be an awesome VP pick, and this is exactly why. I was watching her speech, and I was just blown away by everything that was coming out of her mouth. But go ahead.
Well, again, and I know Sarah personally, and you know, she had her cancer battle, and I want to say she looks great. She looks fantastic.
She lost some weight. She looks wonderful.
I mean, glad to see that she's doing well. This was her moment here, and she killed it. Then we got to get into our sponsor, and then let's move into the real nuts and bolts of today's episode. Let's go.
I got the chance to take my 4-year-old son, Huck, to bring your kid to work day. Much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to work day.
Yes. Ultimate, man. Look, everybody's like, oh, wow. That was good.
Wow.
I got the chance.
That's one of those when you write the jokes out, you're like, oh, yeah. That one's going to go.
I can't wait. You know? That one was circled and highlighted on her script, no doubt.
If you love Sarah Huckabee Sanders, comment yes in the chat. Let's get the chat blowing up.
Y'all all know I do.
What I love about Sarah also is that she's very relatable. She was talking a lot about being a mom and having to work at the White House. Obviously, it was a huge job for her, but she's very relatable. As my wife and I were talking about it last night about how she was bringing in her kids and about being a mom, you know, whatnot. She just, you know, like I said, I mean, she's one of my favorites, and I just want to point that out.
No, she's great. All right, let's get into our our next sponsor, and then ladies and gentlemen, this is a reminder to like this video, share this video right now, because again, they're already trying to cover this up. They're already trying to make it seem like it wasn't Secret Service's fault and everything. Now they're trying to blame Iran for the assassination on Donald Trump's life. Stick around. We've got some amazing stuff. Todd, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about our friends, the Wellness Company. We don't have a healthcare system in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sick care system. Pharmaceutical companies make billions, that's billions with a B, every single year off sick Americans, which means Big Pharma needs you to be sick to be reliant on them. And just like Big Pharma, Big Government wants you to feel powerless. They're in control, and you need them to protect you. Yeah, not today, Satan. So where can we push back, and how do we do it? We become self-reliant and take control of our health with the Wellness Company's Medical Emergency Kit. Designed by elite doctors, including Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Drew Pinsky, these prescription kits have emerged as a keystone of many American families' emergency preparedness plans, saving thousands of dollars in unplanned hospital visits. So be ready for the next thing with the Wellness Company's Medical Emergency Kit, containing 8 life-saving medications, including ivermectin, amoxicillin, and a Z-Pack, plus a guidebook to aid in the safe use of these life-saving medications. Ordering your kit takes less than 2 minutes and couldn't be simpler. All you have to do is go to twc.health/Graham and use the code Graham to purchase your kit with 10% off and free shipping. Whether it's the bird flu, monkeypox, COVID, cyber attacks, or drugstore shortages, you'll have what you need no matter what. Safeguard your health today by going to twc.health/Graham and use the code Graham at checkout to save.
All right, guys. First of all, Todd, COVID. Just say it's not COVID. It's COVID. You're doing it on purpose. You're doing
I'm not.
it on
That's
purpose.
how I
You
talk.
know, yes, you are. You were doing it on purpose. All right. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's get in here. We'll get to the Matt Gaetz McCarthy video at the end because I do want to get into that. But I really want us to get into that. We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, it is vitally important that everybody understands we cannot let off the gas on what happened on the attempt on President Trump's life, because that's what they want. They want us to let up on it. They want us to forget about it. They want us to move on. We cannot do this. So we have to keep talking about it, because the more and more this is unpacked, the crazier and crazier this stuff goes. First of all, let's go to this new report here from the Post Millennial. Here you go. This is a breaking news that they received intel that Iran was planning to assassinate President Trump. Play this clip.
All right, a Fox News alert now, and some breaking news coming out. We've discovered something that makes the lack of security and the security lapses at the Donald Trump event in Butler, Pennsylvania, all the more glaring and literally impossible to understand. David Spunt, our Justice Department correspondent, has got the latest information. David?
Well, John, it's incredibly puzzling. We are learning right now through 2 federal law enforcement sources that in recent weeks there was a credible threat to former President Donald Trump from the Iranian regime. Now, I want to be clear that this is unrelated at the
That's all we need. That's all we need to hear. Okay, so first of all, if you believe this crap for 1 second, comment yes or no in the chat right this second. Let's read what Mario has to say. U.S. authorities have previously obtained intelligence on an Iranian plot to assassinate Trump, prompting the Secret Service to increase security around the former president. But they didn't. The intelligence threat from Iran raises new questions about security lapses at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally where Thomas Matthew Crooks, we know. Iran has vowed revenge for the U.S. killing of Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Former Trump officials, including John Bolton and Mike Pompeo, have also been targets of the Iranian attack. Listen here, I don't believe this crap for 1 second here. Look, if you want to talk about setting up the perfect way to try to bring us into World War III, Tucker Carlson was talking about this last night. I'm literally, again, if I may say, last night was one of those moments where, I mean, the 2 most watched people in the conservative movement we're literally sitting right here having a conversation. And I got to listen to them talk about it firsthand. Tucker Carlson brought this up. How do you mess up President Trump now? Right? Well, you get us into war right before it's time for the election. And by setting this up, look, man, so Iran contracted this 20-year-old Dungeons and Dragons World of Warcraft playing in his mom's basement little kid that just somehow walked up with his sniper rifle. We still don't know if that ladder was there or if he carried the ladder with him. You know, while he was going.
That's
anyway,
what I'm calling.
I'm just saying, this is, I don't believe it for 1 second. If you do comment, yes, you're going to be highly outnumbered based on the chat, because the chat doesn't believe it for 1 second either. You want to talk about a false flag? This is a false flag.
Before we move on, can you guys explain to people who don't know what would happen if we were involved in a world war with the election and whatnot, and the potential of Donald Trump taking over the White House? What would happen then?
I think Joe Biden would try to claim, enact war powers. It's kind of like what FDR had to do during World War II and things like that. So, and we'll get into it. At this point, I don't know, because literally we're going to talk about the fact that Joe Biden now is trying to go against the Constitution, trying to put term limits on SCOTUS judges. They're trying to put a code of ethics or something around.
And
we'll
term
read more
limits.
about it in a minute.
Term
well,
limits.
yeah, that's what I mean. Term limits on this, and literally it's in our Constitution. So the truth is, Tony, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know that this administration is willing to do anything.
The closer we get to November the 5th, the more drastic you're going to see, because they're desperate. You know, we got a report coming up later that talks with the CNN and the current electoral college vote right now. Mm-hmm. And the wider this gap gets, the more desperate they're going to get. And I mean, Iran, Supreme Court, that's just the beginning. Next, and you write this down, they will try to do something with the Supreme Court to get rid of the Electoral College. Get ready for that. That's coming.
Well, and this broke a mere hours after the head of the Secret Service right now, how she's still the head of the Secret Service is beyond me. But this comes after she said that the building that the shooter shot from, the slope of the roof was deemed too dangerous.
Have you seen the White House? Have you seen the White House?
It was too slopey to
Oh my God.
We have to. Our guys aren't Spider-Man. They can't stick to the sides of buildings. What do you want us to do?
Geniuses, man.
But the other building that they shot him from was even
more.
It
had more of a slope.
And so anyway,
get outta here, man.
So this was a, oh my gosh, shut up. And speaking of shut up, we'll get to that in a minute. But there's also reports coming out that the Secret Service knew for almost 30 minutes. This is Alex Jones. He's long-winded as usual, but let's play this real quick.
The Secret Service have now released their preliminary report and admitted that in Butler, Pennsylvania, for 26 minutes, I'd said a couple minutes for videos I'd seen, the shooter was on top of the roof. Police went up to see, he aimed a gun at them, and they ran away and asked permission of what to do. This is a paralyzed government of bureaucrats. Nobody on the roof. So this is a Secret Service stand down, 110%. AP, Reuters, all reporting like it's no big deal. 26 minutes. This guy is on top of this roof with no one there, with the president 450 feet away so he can shoot him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is insane. This is next level.
So 26 minutes, okay? And we've heard all these eyewitness reports, right? We heard about people telling the local police while we were there. There's even that report. Has that been debunked, or is that still out there, the report of the police officer actually going up to the roof, seeing the guy? And
it hasn't been debunked yet.
I think it's
it hasn't been confirmed nor denied.
Yeah, and so again, if this is true, how can it be anything other than an inside job? So Corey Mills, can we find that clip of Corey Mills yesterday talking to CNN when they cut him off? It's
CNN. It was good.
It's on my Twitter page, Royce. Let's find that really quick. Corey Mills, I believe Green Beret. I could be wrong, but he was sniper. And he starts talking about the fact that there's no way that this wasn't an inside job. And CNN cuts the feed. Cut it.
Graham, because you and Todd were in the military, could this be one of those situations where all the state troopers, all the city police or whatnot, because of rules of engagement, the Secret Service told them do not do anything unless we give the okay?
No, I don't believe that that's remotely possible. We're not talking about guarding an actress, an actor, a singer. They don't have to request permission to take out a target like that, Tony. Not when it comes to a president, former president, or something like that. They see, they kill, they ask questions later.
Yeah, no,
that's how this works.
I get that, and that's how traditionally, we would take that. I mean, obviously, anytime you watch videos of police officers engaging somebody with a gun, they protect themselves and they start shooting. Somebody pulls out a gun, they engage them. But in this instance, it looks like they did not. And I'm thinking they didn't because the Secret Service told them not to. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying.
Well,
yeah,
I think it's an inside job. So let's listen to Corey Mills here. This is a long one, but let's try to let's start in the beginning and then let's skip to the end and see what happens. All right. So
I look at all of these things and I look at different videos where an assailant will pull a firearm on a law enforcement officer, and the first thing they do is they immediately pull and draw and mitigate the threat and the risk. I ask why the local law enforcement officer did not do so. The other thing is that when you set up an advance team, I keep hearing this about the perimeter elements.
Yeah.
The perimeter is actually established by your threats that are in the area. So if I don't have any threats outside of 100 yards, okay, fine, I can cordon off a certain area. But if I have a building 160 yards perfectly adjacent to the stage, that's an obvious threat, especially with an elevated position that has overwatch. That's a sniper's paradise. And, we talk about Eagle's Nest. You also have, which no one talks about, but the water tower.
So what I'm hearing from you is it's not a failure on the ground for sure, but 100%. Also a failure in advance?
I think it's a failure in advance. I think it's a failure to have the counter snipers to be able to establish their range fit and their sketch maps.
I also heard there also
at this point there is no discussion. You've had so many of the best of the best of the best snipers of Special Forces operations, SOCOMs, all the above. They've all said the same thing. Dan Bongino, former Secret Service for the president, President Obama, they've all said there's no way. There's no way that this either A, isn't the most incompetent thing that has ever had. So use our rule. I don't know. Call it. We'll start calling it the Graham rule. Everybody's got the Bongino rule. Let's call it the Graham rule. It's either one of two things. These are either the dumbest human beings that have ever walked the planet. Mouth breathers, can't blink and chew gum at the same time, right? And or it's on purpose and it's intentional. Which one is it? It has to be. It has to be one of the two.
It kind of makes me wonder if there's been a lack of security in the past. Like if we go back and review these other events, like has this happened before? How many other buildings have not been this secured that this could have happened at? Or is this just planned, or is it by chance that in this scenario? But this could have happened dozens of times at all of his events where they've just missed things.
Well, my biggest problem with all of this is Trump takes the stage at 6:03. The shots are fired at 6:11. All right. They knew 26 minutes. They tracked this kid 26 minutes ahead of time. Why was Trump even on the stage to begin with?
Yeah.
They saw him before Trump took the stage.
The rally should have been cut short the second that they got intel, 26 minutes before he took the stage. President Trump should have never been allowed to even get up on the stage.
I'll create my own rule. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, smells like a duck, it's not an octopus. I'm just here to tell you.
What's the Cat Williams rule? If they've accused you of doing the same thing for 20 years, guess what? You're doing it.
You're doing it.
All right. Okay. So this is an interesting thing. Is this the Bongino and Tucker clip right here? Okay. So I was literally sitting like where they're at right now. I was looking at them like right in front of them when they're talking about this. And I know that Dan is going to break this down even further on his show here in a bit. Not that you guys need to know to go check out Dan Bongino here a little later on today. But this was some groundbreaking stuff that he has, that basically what's going on is the Secret Service is now being like, hey, do you want to keep your job? And or I believe, hey, do you want to keep your life? Stop talking. Play it.
Real from an unimpeachable source, let's just say, on the matter. That post, according to my source, that roof was supposed to be a police post. It was supposed to be someone there. They're now making up excuses, saying the pitch or the roof. My source says to me, no one knows why the post didn't show up. But so that's a nonsense story they're putting out in the media. And I was also told that the Secret Service director has been given instructions from the administration and the DHS secretary. If you want to keep your job, you'll keep your mouth shut about this. They're not putting that out there. But if you get those site post logs and those police instructions, and there was a post on there and they didn't show up and no one checked, someone could have got your dad killed within millimeters.
Dude,
okay, all right. Let's unpack that a little bit. Okay, so first of all, reports are coming out that, and I'm assuming Dan's going to break down whether or not he knows that to be true or not yet, that the people that were supposed to be, so you're hearing conflicting reports because the head of the Secret Service said, Well, the roof had too much of a slope. It was too dangerous. Too dangerous for the people whose job is to potentially die protecting someone. The roof is too slanted. It's too dangerous, right? So you hear that report, and now Bongino's breaking it that actually the report is that the people that were supposed to be there just never showed up. Now, if anybody's watching that has been in law enforcement, been in the Secret Service or a federal agency in that regard, let me know. Is it just common? Is it common practice for people just not to show up for their assignments, to be in a sniper position, to have a perimeter overview of the target they're supposed to be protecting? Is that normal?
The president, nonetheless.
Yeah, the president on top of that. I just feel like, I am not what people would call a smart man, but I just feel like that is not normal things. And we would know. It'd be like, yeah, that was Sergeant so-and-so and so-and-so. He has been fired immediately, and he is facing prosecution now for dereliction and negligence of duty and all this other kind of stuff.
If you think about it, it does make sense that it was too dangerous because they had all the DEI people filling in for it because they had the other Secret Service to Jill Biden's detail. So they had all the DEI hires over here.
I've heard that too, and I do get that. Like, I do understand that there's a difference between the sitting U.S. president versus, the front runner for president on the Republican ticket. I mean, I do get that one to a certain extent. But just the fact that yesterday, as you guys showed and all this stuff, now all of a sudden there is no 5'2", slightly overweight females that could not protect Donald Trump and be in front of him to stop a bullet if their life depended on it. Even if they had acted appropriately, they can't protect him. They can't be the body people that are supposed to be in front if they literally are at his waistline. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to do it. But then, go ahead.
You have, and it's been called, that roof has been called this by Tier 1 operators, by Dan Bongino, by other Secret Service, a sniper's paradise, okay?
Yeah,
I don't care.
No
I don't
brainer.
care how sloped that roof was. I don't care if there's a dragon sitting on top of it or sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. You put somebody on that freaking roof, period.
Yeah. Well,
period.
And here's the reason that I can't wear the uniform anymore, or I never had a badge. I wore a uniform, but if I had a badge, I would be saying something. If I was
without
in the
a doubt.
Secret Service, I'd be fired
Man,
immediately because
the
I'd
whistle
be like,
would be so loud right now.
Let me tell you what actually is going on. These people are trying to destroy our entire country. This is, but now you got Bongino breaking, and he's going to break it down further on today, that sources are saying that the head of the Secret Service is being told, of course, by Joe Biden, to, hey, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth or lose your career and or something else, kind of thing. Epstein. Anyway, the point is that is terrifying as well because I believe that to be true. The fact that within 1 hour of the George Floyd stuff, how much stuff did we know about Derek Chauvin?
We knew his life history, like
we
everything.
Knew everything. We knew who was in charge. What was Parkland shooting, right? Like we knew, like the whole, like the sheriff had to resign, everything like this. The whole world turned their attention to it, and now it's just like the FBI's got it. The FBI is going to get to the bottom of this stuff. Which means that nothing's ever going to happen. The same people who can't figure out whose cocaine it was in the White House are now going to figure out where the breakdown was in the assassination attempt.
I have a question really quick. I've also heard, I guess, rumors. I don't know if this is true or not, but like they're claiming that building was also outside of the Secret Service security zone or something. I've heard that a couple times.
Not even
that building.
Which doesn't make sense
close. Yeah, which doesn't make sense because it's so close. On top of that, if it was a very close shot, right? 150, 140 yards, 450 feet or whatever it is. I've met people who were snipers in the military who said that they could hit someone from a mile away easily. What is the
they're
Secret
trained at
Service's
1,000 yards.
What is the Secret Service's plan for someone like that who's actually talented with a gun?
Let me break that down really quick for you right here. Okay, so President Trump is here, okay, at the RNC convention. So there's the inner perimeter that you cannot get into unless you go through the Secret Service metal detectors and all this stuff. And then there's the outer perimeter, okay? The outer perimeter alone, where you also have to pass through all of this stuff, I would say it's 3-4 blocks away. You know what I mean? And like literally you have to get dropped off. That's why I got in here like 10 minutes before the show started, because they drop you off 3-4 blocks away. Then you got to walk all the way into the inner perimeter, which is 2-3 blocks away from where we actually are right now. So you're walking 6-7 blocks and going through 2 forms of security things, dogs, all this kind of stuff before you can even get here. So 160 yards or less than 150 yards away is not outside of the Secret Service.
Yeah, and not to mention
it is like getting into the White House.
Yes.
Okay.
I can imagine
crazy.
that. But we're talking what you're talking about, Graham. You're talking perimeters with the human eye. We're not even don't even discount the technology that they have. I got a redneck that lives 15 miles up the road right now. That what he does for a living is when somebody shoots a deer and they can't find it, they call him. He throws his drone up in the air and they go find it at night.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Secret Service doesn't have something like that? Get out of here, man.
Dude, they got stuff that can see inside of you.
That's
like,
what I'm
from
telling
1,000
you.
yards away.
Like they
You know
could
what I
tell
mean?
that
Like,
they should be able to tell what that kid's underwear size is by the technology that they have floating around. Get out of here, man.
We literally could see Osama bin Laden taking a poop in a cave. You know what I mean? Rob O'Neill, my good friend Rob O'Neill, he's the guy who shot bin Laden. He literally said it's a good thing that the slope wasn't too slopey when I had to shoot bin Laden. It's like, oh, that's the ultimate thing ever. Okay, all right. Well, all right, we got to move on here. All right, so I haven't seen this clip, the police and Secret Service scrambling new footage. So you guys play this. I'm playing catch up on this one.
This is moments after the shots were fired, and they're
So
trying
what are we
to
looking
get
at
there.
here? Shows Secret Service and state police scrambling as there was no apparent contingency plan to get the reactionary squad through the fence. Okay,
Yeah.
play it.
This is them just
Not
trying
only
to get
slopey
there.
slope, but I mean, apparently
Why
chain
is
link
the
fences are their
Fences are
kryptonite.
hard now.
But
Yeah.
why is the reactionary squad behind a fence in the first place? That
That's-
doesn't
dude,
make any sense.
That's a great question, Graham. I thought the
Okay.
same thing. Yep.
All right, play it. Let's go.
Oh no, it's a chain link fence. What do we do?
Why are they all
Gate
backing
right
up?
there's a
What-
gate
what are
right
we
there. There's a gate right there. How do we get past it?
What are
Just keep watching.
they doing?
Keep watching.
God,
Are they?
it's pitiful.
You're just trying to get through a fence. Like you can't jump that.
Dude, that is wild.
Just
I always
wait,
feel
it
so
gets
bad for
better.
the people on audio only because you can't see this.
Oh my God! I quit.
Another
I give up-
fence!
I give up
Another
on-
one!
I give up on life.
Stuck. Okay. All right. Stop.
Wow.
Again, me and Todd were both in the Army. Okay. And we were not like tier 1 operators.
At all.
Okay?
I was a medic.
Even we can take a look at this and be like, yeah, these 2 fences you got to get through. If something bad were to happen for your QRF, your quick reaction force or whatever, this is going to be a problem. Like, and we're not even like the elite of the elite. This is like basic military stuff. This is my children could have a better plan to evac the president than this. Like this is crazy. And I know a lot of people are like, just jump over, They shouldn't have to be going through a fence
To begin
in the first
with.
place to
For
go
real.
save the president. Like this is or to go eliminate the threat against the president. You shouldn't be having to jump
For real.
multiple fences to make this crap happen. This is some anyway. Look, and this is why this is a new. I guess this is like AI generated video of how close this thing was. And again, before we play this thing, I just want to say that we witnessed an act of God in real life again. I also do not want to downplay that. Okay, I've seen a lot of Christian conservative people. They're all like, stop over spiritualizing this. You're mocking God. Shut up. Just shut your mouth. You are the Christians that somebody will get saved and they're immediately not a nun and you go after them for not being perfect. You are the reason that people don't go to church in the first place. And I can't stand you. I really can't. And the Lord's not done working with me yet. And maybe I'll answer for that when I get up to the pearly gates. I don't know, but I can't stand you. And I'm pretty sure Jesus said, I can't stand what you're doing to several Pharisees back in the day. But either way, this is a rendering of what would have happened. And you literally see, here's another thing that I did not realize. I did not realize that there were 2 shots that actually went super close to
one
his
missed
head.
him. One like
See that I didn't realize. I thought it was one shot. Like that makes this even more of an act of the Lord. And if you believe that it was an act of the Lord that saved President Trump, comment in the chat right now. I believe that it is undeniable. And as Christians, here's another thing, and I'm fixing to get on a tangent here, and I apologize, but it's my show, so we're going to talk about it. As Christians, I think it's insane that we are missing the opportunity to show people, look, God still performs miracles. Like acts of God still happen. And this should be an opportunity for a lot of people to potentially come to Christ. Like you know what I mean? Like there's been so many people that I've talked to that believe in Jesus, but they just kind of do their own thing and stuff like this. And then they see that. And they're like, I can't deny it anymore. You know what I mean? Like as we talked about it, statisticians say a 0.05% chance that Donald Trump lives in that situation. How is that not? And again, that would have been a 99.95% chance of civil war if that happened. Well, let's look at this video. And then you'll see. Watch this rendering here. All right, here we go.
Take a look.
It's slowed down. Turn, one shot, and then there's another one right there.
And then
like I didn't. That's what I didn't even realize is that there were 1, 2.
So it looks like 2 missed. It looks like 1 hit and 2 missed.
3 shots at him. That
one probably went that one's that got the ear. The next one must have.
Or was that second shot the same? They were just showing it again at that different angle.
It looks like if you look at him, all right, the first one got him. The second one,
the guy shot multiple times.
Yeah, he shot like 8 times.
8 times.
Yeah, the first one got him. He did this, and he probably crouched like a deer, like shooting the line. The second one probably went above, and the third one went wide. That's the only thing I can make this make sense. The first one got him. The second one was above, and then the third one went wide.
Yeah. Well, anyway, again, I don't know how you can't look at this and not believe that God still performs miracles. And as Christians and as churches, I think you're missing a very big opportunity to bring the good news of the Lord to so many people who witnessed this. I don't know exactly how many millions of people have seen this or how many billions of times this has been viewed, but you have an amazing opportunity to show that God still does miracles. God still performs miracles, and 99.95% of churches, 0.05% of churches are getting it right and using this to A, not only pray for the country, B, not only pray for President Trump's continued protection, but whether you're voting for him or not. But 3, you have an opportunity to show people the Lord right here. Like people have seen this and are going, whoa, like, I mean, and we're missing it because you got these catty Christians out there. Anyway, I
agree with you 100%, Graham.
Christians all the time.
I agree with you 100%. I think it was divine intervention because not only did that act save Donald Trump, but I think it saved hundreds of thousands of people in the United States, because if that shot would have hit and would have killed Donald Trump, I think people would have taken up arms on both sides, and we'd have a full-out civil revolutionary war going on right now with Americans dying on both sides. So yes, I do believe that it
definitely saved war. And
yes.
and to kind of mimic Graham's point about I'm not going to say fake
Point
Christians,
stealer.
but horrible Christians. And I know this because I've been sent this. There are some Christians out there that are relating this shooting to the wounded Antichrist in Revelation 13.
Oh gosh!
I'm just telling you, that's how some Christians
man.
dig deep, dude. Some of them dig deep. That's how. I mean, that's what I've been sent that Revelation 13 like 5-6 times, and it's disgusting. I mean, it's just
there
disgusting.
are people that were putting the Ephesians 6:11 up. because Trump was shot at 6/11 and then the verse in 6/11. And I'll agree. I'll give it to him. Reaching a little bit. I mean, it just is.
course.
I mean, that's like literally like, if you pick it's like the number 23, right? You just go in here. However, there were people who were like, "Oh, I can't believe that Christians are doing this. This is not helpful." Blah blah blah. My response is, how is it not helpful? How does it hurt people looking towards Jesus in any way? Even if the intent, even if theologically it is not the most sound thing, which I agree with you, it is reaching a bit, but let people try to bring people to the Lord. Like, why is your whole intent? And these are Christians, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing that's actually leading people to Christ in what you're doing? These people are misusing scripture, da 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 da. Well, okay, great. Well, now all these people just didn't come to church because you're showing infighting amongst Christians when all they're trying to do is just, I mean, they're trying to do a good thing because they believe it to be an act of God. And anyway, we don't have time to keep going on this tangent. I think those people suck personally. That's my own opinion.
Big
and
sucky,
yes,
suck,
I meant
suck,
what I
suck.
said, and I'm not sorry. Suckity, suck.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Biden here. This is breaking info that came out yesterday. And it just when I think that this administration can't get any crazier. Here we go. This is Fox News reporting Biden to announce support for major changes to Supreme Court amid outrage over recent decisions. And I can no longer read it after this. Todd, you're going to have to take it.
Gotcha. All right, hold up. President Biden is reportedly planning to endorse major changes in the U.S. Supreme Court, including proposals for legislation to establish term limits for the justices and an enforceable ethics code as growing outrage continues following a series of controversial decisions. The Washington Post first reported the changes, citing two people briefed on the plans. Biden has long resisted changes to the high court, but his supporters have continued to call for reform following ethics scandals surrounding Justice Clarence Thomas and decisions by the court majority on issues including abortion and federal regulatory powers.
Pause. Well, then kick yourself out of office for your crackhead son, you degenerate. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who decides what the ethics code is?
Yeah, and here's my thing with it. You want to talk about ethics code and talking about Judge Clarence not reporting money. Let's lay all our cards on the table. Let's see your bank accounts too, Peckerwood.
Oh,
I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Go,
Todd said the
Todd. Go,
PW word. Oh,
I mean,
man.
where's the lie? Find the lie.
Well, again, here's the dangers here. Okay, so one, this is anti-constitutional. First of all, okay,
Period.
Supreme Court justices have lifetime appointments. The end. Okay, so you're talking about changing the Constitution. Okay, so first and foremost, that's what we're talking about. The same guy who says that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and Joe Biden's been Joe Biden's been in office so long that he's closer in age to World War II than he is to the average age of a voter now. like Isabel Brown, a friend of mine, pointed that out, and holy goodness, like he is closer in birth date years to World War II than he is to the 18 to 22-year-olds. Yeah, lick them. Anyway, the point is,
that
I'm
never
trying
gets
to have
old.
a serious conversation, Todd.
Here's a quote from Joe Biden, by the way.
Okay, read it.
I am going to need your help on the Supreme Court because I'm about to come out. I don't want to prematurely, the closet probably. I don't want to prematurely announce it, but I'm going to come out with a major initiative on limiting the court. I've been working with constitutional scholars, because Hunter and Jill, they meet that criteria for the last 3 months, and I need some help, Biden said, according to a transcript of a call obtained by the Washington Post. Here's my question on this, Graham, all right, because I'm not well versed on this stuff. So if he comes out and does what he says he's going to do, term limits and ethics codes and all that stuff, he's adding it to the Constitution. Can the Supreme Court just go, nope, that's unconstitutional?
I mean, normally amendments and changes to the Constitution have to go through Congress.
Right.
But this is also the same president that they literally said student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional. And he's just
And he bragged about it. He bragged about it.
I also want to say, you guys don't know this, but we are on TVs. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, the point is,
and remember, this is also the president's administration who is overseeing the New York trial where the judge changed the law and indicted Donald Trump.
Yeah, the judge became a realtor in Florida.
Exactly, yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
for real, bro.
and so the question is, I have no idea. Like, I want to say no, there's no way it would never happen, but I have no clue at this point. I mean, they're so. But let's see what Donald Trump has to say about this, because Donald Trump did put out a Truth Social yesterday about this thing here. And let me see if I can read this. The radical left Democrats are desperately trying to, quote, play the ref by calling for an illegal and unconstitutional attack on our sacred United States Supreme Court. The reason that these communists are so despondent is that their unlawful witch hunts are failing everywhere. The Democrats are attempting to interfere in the presidential election and destroy our justice system by attacking their political opponent, me, in all caps, and our honorable Supreme Court. We have to fight for our fair and independent courts and protect our country, MAGA 2024. So it makes you wonder if he's trying to do this, maybe to put, I don't know, potential pressure on the Supreme Court, that if it is a close election, maybe I don't know. Like I don't know what the plan is here right off the bat. Like I thought it was initially going to be he wants to pack the courts, by
that's what I thought.
it. But that's not what it is. It's a term limits, and which, I mean, again, that's a play to try to influence the conservatism within the Supreme Court. But the code of ethics is interesting to me. To me, that's the one that sticks out the most. What does that mean?
That means they control the narrative.
Who gets to decide that? What the code of ethics is?
Pretty sure that's already in the Constitution somewhere. I would think that's already in there, but I mean, that's just me. I'm just a redneck.
Are you against term limits?
As long as they do it in Congress too, I'm fine.
Yeah,
that's where I think if we're going to have term limits, it should be across the board.
I'm pro term limits in Congress and in the presidency and things like that, because the will of the people and things like this and your constituents, they change over time.
Exactly.
And I do believe that there comes a point where if you've been in DC for 12 straight years, you no longer know what it's like to be a normal person. The Supreme Court is different because the law and the Constitution is supposed to remain unchanged. The law is supposed to be blind. It's supposed to be black and white across the board. So no, I don't like that for that reason. But let's end this, and I've got a heart out here in a minute, but I want to end this with Matt Gaetz absolutely dropping a nuke on talk about sissy girl pants. Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy looks like a former talent scout for a recording agency that's now out of work. You know what I mean? He's just wandering around California like, can I have a job here? I hope I run into Kevin McCarthy. I really do. Let's play this clip here, and I think this is the ultimate takedown by Matt Gaetz.
Speaking. What night are you speaking? Are you speaking tonight? One person. No. Hey, you're not. If you took that stage, you would get booed off of it. You would get booed off the stage.
True. What night are you speaking? What night are you speaking?
Then he gets yelled at by some other guy.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's so funny. It's the funniest clip I've ever seen. They're like children in a schoolyard.
Matt Gaetz reminds me of an old friend that I grew up with. He would always try to pick a fight with anybody, whoever was around, and he would just like go at everybody for whatever reason. Like he looks like a bulldog. What he looks like, man.
Jimmy Neutron don't play, bro.
Hey man, you want to find the people in Congress or in DC and on the Capitol Hill that you do not need to trust. Find everybody that's trying to fight Matt Gaetz every time Matt Gaetz busts somebody out for something. Those are the people. Tucker Carlson said something very similar to the J.D. Vance nomination for vice president.
Right.
The vitriol response from every person that's terrible in DC makes me lean toward it must be a good choice. It must be a good choice if all of the evil people in DC just want him to die. You know what I mean? Let's just call it for what it is, right? All of the neocons, the warmongers, sorry, we've been traveling a lot. All the neocons, the warmongers, all the above that do not want this ticket to happen, One thing that brought me great joy, being South Carolina and all this stuff, and Drew McKissick. I hope you're watching this, by the way. Drew, me and Drew love each other. I saw him here. Tucker Carlson just crapping over Lindsey Graham for about 5 straight minutes yesterday. It took everything I had not to jump, and as Dane Cook would say, in a fit of joy, because I hate Lindsey Graham. The only real disagreement that me and President Trump it wasn't a disagreement. Look at me talking with my Trump
I'm going to
hands.
say you got the accordion hands.
President Trump, I'm in President Trump's office. It was when I was running for Congress. I'm in President Trump's office, and President Trump asked me, he goes, South Carolina, he goes, what do you think of Lindsey Graham? And I looked at him and I was like, oh, is this a trap question? And I was like, I'm not going to lie to the man. I was like, well, sir, if you want my honest opinion, I can't stand the guy. and I went on this whole thing for about 3 minutes. How like the people in South Carolina hate Lindsey Graham. They absolutely can't stand him. But the problem is he's the only Republican on the ticket, and people in South Carolina aren't going to vote for a Democrat. And so Lindsey Graham keeps getting in the Senate, but I can't stand the guy. And just watching Tucker Carlson crap on Lindsey Graham for about 5 minutes, he even went so far to say that like all he does is just destroy Lindsey Graham on a daily basis. And he thinks Lindsey Graham like kind of likes it in like a weird way, because every time Lindsey Graham sees Tucker Carlson, he just like wants to like hug him and be his best friend.
Battered wife syndrome. There.
Yeah, battered wife syndrome, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, it is today is going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fixing to have to get out of here, but the guys are going to end the show. They're going to answer your super questions across the board. This is where I remind you to hit that like button, hit that follow button. Tonight, make sure that you come hang out with the Dear America crew. I'm going to be in the convention, so I won't be here, but Royce, Todd, Tony, and I believe Alyssa's going to try to make it too, are going to stream now vice presidential electee or nominee or whatever. J.D. Vance this is his first speech. It is the first, tonight is the night that the vice president gets to speak. So the team's going to be streaming that. And of course, the social media team's going to be updating you guys all on social media, everything. So make sure you tune in and hang out with Dear America tonight as that goes on. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this morning. I think we're like 12,000 of you watching right now across all platforms. Nice. And the show's growing, guys. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And tomorrow I will be back here on the couch. Later, guys. Y'all finish it out strong.
All right. See you, bud.
All right.
All right. Later, guys.
All right. Again, let's just remind ourselves that there's a couple things we didn't touch on that I just want to kind of talk about for just a split second there, Royce. They've been there 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. They've been there 2 days, and they've already shot a guy with knives and caught a guy with a ski mask and an AK. Yep. So let's all take a moment today, because the battle is far from over. Mm-hmm. And by no means is President Trump safe, is Graham and Dan, Tucker, Don, Eric, by no means are these guys safe right now. So let's continue to pray that that God continues to protect our loved ones and our people there at the RNC, that nothing happens to them. So let's not forget that. Tony, do you have the super questions? I've got Kaloho down, but is there any before that?
Let's see here. Which one do you have from Kaloho?
I've got Kaloho. I've got the $50. There's two that I see.
He's got two of them, so you have two of them?
Yeah. Is there one before that?
There is just one right before that.
Okay, well, read that one, and I'll take the other ones.
CFAM54 Puppy. God bless you guys. Thank you for your show, Dear America.
Yeah,
so
appreciate
that was it. All right.
Cool. All right. So from Kaloho, due to Graham, I am now a huge fan of Bongino. I can't watch him live, but I watch him later. I go back and watch many past ones. You two are great patriots. Please let him know he is one of my faves. Ours too. Like, the dude's the GOAT, man. I mean, he's the best right now. I mean, he really is. Dalton 5734. Hey, good morning, troops. Graham, you have a pretty personal relationship with President Trump. Do you know if he is a true Christian or just a believer? Keep up the outstanding work, gents. First Sergeant Robinson. Even Graham having a personal relationship with Trump, I don't think that question's able to be answered, Top. I don't. I think everybody's relationship with God is their own personal thing, and only you. There's only one person that knows how close you are to God, and that's the person that looks in the mirror. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do the singing, song, and dance and make sure their alarm goes off at the same time every day on Sundays and Wednesdays and stuff like that are going to blow the gates of hell wide open. So
That's very true. I mean, I've known a lot of Christians who say the right things and supposedly do the right things as they're cheating on their wives and husbands and getting plastered or whatnot. So
yeah, exactly.
Very good point. Very good point.
So from Kaloho again, the ladder was a permanent fixture of the building. I saw a pic of it. It might have been. I don't know. CFAM 54 puppy. God bless. Love you guys. We love you too. Again, CFAM 713 divine intervention. Praise the Lord. Yeah, I agree with that. Tony D. Whoa, Poelo, Tony. How you say that? Poelo Antonio, Di Palo. Yeah, okay. Sorry, bud. I butchered it. My fault.
Here, I'll go.
I have the answer why Secret Service wasn't on the roof. Why would Secret Service and the CIA both be there? That's very. It could
it's
be true.
Tony de Palantonio.
De Palantonio.
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 Like Tony Montana, man.
I was finna say I sounded too much like Al Pacino.
Like Tony Montana there, man.
VS 123 Freeman, is Striker J ever coming on, or did I miss it? Nope, you haven't missed it. He hasn't come on yet. That will happen soon. I'm sure. I think. I don't know. Matthew the Davis, truck driver for Trump here. Listen to you guys every day on the road. Thank you for what you do. God bless America. Thank you, bud. Okay. Scrolling.
Awkward silence there.
Yeah, all right, that's all that I have. Do we have any from YouTube, Royce?
We do have a few from YouTube.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Here's one.
I like this. Renegade, I like that. Seems weird that the first things we knew about the shooter was that he was a registered Republican. Usually that's not the first piece of info that breaks on a shooting suspect. Something smells fishy. It's like
it's almost as if that information was like on purpose.
I'm just telling you.
It all smells fishy. Something, obviously, just Todd and I think you were a part of it also, Royce. We were talking about it before the show, comparing it to the JFK assassination and whatnot. We're never going to know exactly what happened there. I mean, we still don't know what happened with the JFK thing. You know, they're releasing whatever they want to release because they think we're sheep. So.
And just like Bongino said, like, they're being told to shut up if you want to keep your job. Like, this stuff will be put under wraps, whatever happened. But the fact is that it did happen, and we're always going to be asking questions. And like Tony said, we'll just never know.
I don't think, and we talked about this a little bit pre-show. My opinion on the matter is I don't think this was planned. I don't think this was planned, because if it was planned, you don't put somebody on the roof that's going to miss. You put somebody like me, like Graham, like some other dudes that hey, which eye do you want it in? That's who you put on the roof. You don't. Now, what I more so think that this was oh, wow. Because you don't get 8 shots off before somebody puts you down. Like, you don't. It takes a split second for a trained sniper to see muzzle flash and to engage. Split second. So right. I think it was more of an epic failure and just basically a blind eye. That's where I'm at with it.
And that's saying it lightly, because obviously an epic failure of somebody that was able to walk around with a rifle in camo, climb up to a building and set himself up over there. And what did they say, 26 minutes that they knew he was up there or something?
Which was 16 minutes before Trump even went on stage.
A failure is putting it lightly. I think, let's just say that.
All right.
Yep.
Anthony McNabb.
I love that profile picture. Love your work, Graham. I love that profile
Then we have Jeff.
Jeff Fafa. Morning, fellas. Thanks for all you guys do. Not sure if I missed it. How did we do with the raising money for the families affected by the shooting?
Yeah, we're supposed
Has
to have
that
a
number
total.
been tabulated?
I have
tabulated?
the YouTube number. I got to figure out the Rumble number. I'm not sure exactly how to go in and figure that out. I'm not
Okay.
Rumble familiar, but we will figure it out, and I'll talk to Graham on how he wants to release that number via Twitter or on the show or whatever. But we'll have it for you soon.
Nice.
It was a pretty good turnout.
It was a
though.
lot.
Thank you.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot,
Yeah.
and you guys came through. The Dear America family came through big time. So thank you
This
guys
is
very
the
much.
last one for now, unless more come in.
Daphne Roberts, I do believe that Trump being saved was an act of God, but my heart breaks for the family that didn't get the same miracle. I can't speak for God's thoughts, though. He knows what he's doing. I mean, that's unfortunate. And the fact of the matter is, the Bible's very clear. The rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. And that's pretty much all I can tell you. That it happens to all of us throughout our lives. You know, things just don't seem fair, and you don't really know what God's plan is. I've probably been more angry at God than I've been in love with Him at this point because of things that have happened in my life. But all I can tell you is, rain falls on the just and the unjust alike, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's all we got, folks. So, look, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Graham will be on the pretty heavenly white couch again tomorrow, and will be with us. I'm definitely going to make fun of him for that later.
Do we know what time we're coming on tonight? Streaming. The
I don't know
VP
exactly.
VP speech.
I don't know exactly when that's happening. I'm
Well,
assuming late tonight.
Here's how you find out, guys. All right, there is a button looking on my computer screen. It's right below my chest. It's right there. It's called the follow button. You click the follow button, and then when we go live tonight, you'll get a notification. So go ahead and click that follow button. That way you know. But I think it's going to be late. I think it's going to be like 9 my time, 10 y'all's time, somewhere in there. But, I mean...
That would be 10 Eastern.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time, though. Either way, we're going to have a good time. I'm probably going to be eating dinner by then. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and pray this thing out real quick and get out of here. Oh, Father, we just thank you for another good show. Father, we thank you for another day of life. We thank you for another day of liberty and freedom. Father, for every one of us that woke up this morning in this great country that is America, we thank you for your blessings, the grace, love and mercy that is fresh for us every single day. Father, we thank you for being born and raised in a nation that is as great as this one can be. And Father, to all of our friends and family and folks that are at the Republican National Convention, Father, just ask that you just put your blanket of protection over every single one of them, because evil forces are always at play, okay? And we cannot let the devil get ahead, even by an inch. So I ask that you just continue to protect those individuals that are there. You bring all of them home to their families safe, because, Father, we understand you're not political, okay? You love us all the same, that it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, that your love for us is truly the same. So I ask that you bring everybody home safely. Father, we love you. We thank you for all that you do, and we will see you again in the morning. And all God's people said,
Amen.
Tony, say goodbye, my friend.
Hasta tonight, actually. Not tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Hasta tonight.
Hasta night. Dr. Evil, say goodbye.
I'm not Dr. Evil, but
Yeah, yes, you
goodbye.
are. Yes, you are. All right, and I am Hot Seat Todd for Graham Allen and the Dear America family, reminding you to stay awake, not woke, trusting God, not the government, and as always, stay free.